Brendon was the oldest of my sons. He was 19. He was a very quiet, very sensible and extremely brainy young man. Really solid with friends, limited friends, but really solid with those friends, and really loved his computer and his car, and online gaming was his favourite thing. And Mathew was the opposite end of the scale. Mathew was a skinny, runty, quite a character, funny, always making people laugh. He has a big circle of friends, but all very solid and loyal to him. He loved the beach, he loved surfing, he loved skateboarding, he loved bodyboarding. Pretty much anything that got him outside, he enjoyed doing. The day was the 14th of July 2005. I'd rang Brendon at 3:30 thereabouts just to let him know I was on my way home. It was about 10 to 6 and there was a very loud banging on my front door. And when I went to the front door, there were 2 female police officers at the door. They were insisting that I sit down, and I realised that something was wrong, and I just turned and said, "Which one, Brendon or Mathew?" And they, one of the police officers said to me that, "We're sorry to inform you, but both of your sons have been killed in a fatal car crash at Morpeth." And I remember sitting in the kitchen, just looking at the floor, thinking, well, this doesn't happen to me, this happens to other people.
We are here to give thanks for the life of Brendon and Mathew, short as those lives were. This is the stance that heals everything. So thank you in the midst of great pain.
In the early days, people come to visit. People are always on your door. They're bringing food and bringing flowers, and everybody is wanting to do something. And that's really good in those early weeks, because I couldn't function. My husband didn't know what to do. Nobody knows what to do. So we still had a 10-year-old to tend to, so, you know, that was helpful. But it's when everybody else's life goes back to normal, which is maybe about the 8-week, 6-week mark, when people start to leave you and maybe just do the odd checking, that you actually really realise that you are quite on your own. At the 8-week mark in my TAFE job, I had to fill out a form, and I quite literally could not write my own name. I couldn't think, and my colleague laughed at me and said, "Oh, Shelley, you just write Michelle on the thing." And I put the pen down and I said, "You know what, I can't do this. I cannot do this on my own." And she said, "You're not on your own." I said, "I'm on my own, because I don't know anyone else who's done this." So I went to, somebody suggested I go to SIDS, which is for parents who've lost little children. And I went to the meeting at SIDS, and the only way to describe her, a biker chick, walked over to me with the leathers on and everything, the big tattoos, and said, put her arm around me and said, "What's your story, girlfriend?" And I told her, and she said, I lost my boy 5 years ago. He was 14. And then as time went on, we both wondered where other parents would go who'd lost children. And she said, I'd love to start a group. And I had a marketing background, and I said, when I feel good, then maybe I'll do it. And 2 years on from losing my boys, I said to her, I think I could do this now. I was driving to one of my jobs one day, and I had a radio station on that I don't generally listen to. As a matter of fact, I didn't actually listen to the radio much at all, but this particular day I thought I'll just pop it on. And I heard a very brief announcement about a road safety seminar. Anyway, so off I went up to Rutherford, and there were 2 police officers there out of uniform delivering a road safety seminar of importance to 6 people. And I let them do their thing, and at the end I said to Big Simon Thomas at the time, you know, would I be able to share my story? Which I did, and you know, obviously people cried and get upset and that. And then at the very end of it, Simon said to me, I wish this program had legs. And I went home and I thought about that, and I said to my husband, I think that's what I'm supposed to do. So that was the changing point for me to decide I would do road safety. I took that message that Simon gave me, I went to Maitland High School, and that started from there. Our philosophy for Roadwise is if we can change one person's behaviour, then our job is done. So we could talk to a group of 150 kids. If one young boy comes up and says to me, you know, I'm sorry, I didn't realise, thank you, then I know our job is done, because I know he'll be thinking about his mum and his dad and his siblings. It took me 3 years to be able to eat at a restaurant properly, and probably that 3-year mark is where I started to actually do stuff that wasn't so work related. I decided, I think not last year, the year before, I decided that I will do everything I possibly can so that my sons can see life through my eyes, so that they can experience everything through me that they might have done. Now, my children have never seen me get in beach water past my knees. I'm one of those typical mothers, you know. This year my goal was to get in the water and get completely wet with my hair and all. That was great. The next day I thought, you know what, my Matthew would love it if I did something a little bit more. My husband said, why don't we put you on a board, on a surfboard? I got on a surfboard, and I remember looking up at the sky and just thinking, you know, I hope he's watching, because I felt pretty clever and pretty proud. With such a loss, I'd become very reliant on my husband. I wanted to see if I could actually do something without him, and if I could, then to me that would be finding me again. So last year in 2014, I went trekking, and I went to Nepal because I have a friend who does some work with the Umbrella Foundation, and I wanted to know a little bit more about that. So I went trekking in Nepal for, it was a 9-day trek, and I went with a porter, my friend's husband, and the guide. So basically just a girl on my own, pretty much. And it was tough. It was really hard. But this particular day I was struggling, I was tired, my legs were sore and everything, and I was going to cry in front of these 3 men, 2 of whom hardly speak any English. And my fellow who I was travelling with, he came down and he said to the porter, she's pretty tough, this woman. She's made her some real tough stuff. She'll be fine. And I looked at him and I looked at them and I went, you know what? I am tough. And you know what? This will be over tomorrow. Every other day of my life without my boys is tough. This is not tough. Suck it up, girlfriend, and move forward. And I did. And I set a goal to have their heels under my cap. the whole time, so pretty much walking like that. And we get to the top of this hill and they turned around to look for me and I was right there. And I put my hands up and I said, I'm here. I got myself together and I kept up. And, I couldn't wait to tell Todd, because not only did I do a trip without him, I got through it without him, and I come home without him. Like, I managed to do that all by myself. And so to me, I found some of me again. It was amazing to be reminded of how much life there is to live when I've come from a part of my life where I didn't want to live at all. But it was amazing to see such bigness in the world and realise that why would you not? I've had a go at pole dancing. My eldest son would be mortified. My middle boy would think it was great. I've done the surfing now. I do rock and roll dancing. I've always wanted to learn rock and roll. So I am inspired by them to make sure that I do the best that I can with everything that I do, but more importantly, that I live a life that they would look and go, we're pleased that Mum's doing stuff, because they would know me as a doing person. I've won community council awards. I've been a Steel Magnolia nominee for many years, and last year I was the Steel Magnolia award winner, the Body and Soul Woman of the Year as well, Maitland's Woman of the Year. Last year was a combination really of many awards for me, and while awards are wonderful things, in the beginning, when I used to get awards, I actually didn't like it very much. One, I felt very guilty because I'm getting something and my sons are not. But two, I'd rather just to be the quiet achiever. But I realised something down the track, that the whole community wants to hug me often, and the whole community can't. So I see an award as a community hug. I want to be able to leave a legacy of my voice, for my voice, and for other children and young people who've lost their lives this way, which is a complete, total waste.
Let go of the world. Make it all up as you die.
And if by watching this somebody looks at that, at my little movie and says, you know what, I could do that for my dead son. Or you know what, I didn't think I could do it, but I might have a go at that. Or if she can do it, then I can do it.
It's like you've only just arrived. Dive in, the water might be lovely. Go keen and go boldly. Go wherever they sing.
And, at the end of it, maybe someone will go, geez, I had no idea the statistics were that high for the loss of young people. That's what else can I say?
The kingdom is yours. The seas, the shores. It's like you've only just arrived. Unknown is king. Your eyes will bring all you need to survive. Let's go, often here on the radio. Life was made moons ago, somewhere behind those skies. Run for those hills, babe. Let go of the dark days, let go of the world.